Optimizing Grading, a standards-based approach, facilitated by Dr. Timothy Gadson. Welcome to our session, Optimizing Grading, a standards-based approach. Today, we delve into how we can refine our grading systems to capture better and reflect true student achievement, and importantly, to enhance educational equity. As educators and leaders, each of you holds a critical role in shaping the assessment of learning. The aim today is to provide you with both the perspective and tools needed to critically examine and possibly transform your current grading practices. We will identify key areas where enhancements are necessary and explore best practices to ensure our assessments are both accurate and fair, truly reflecting the diverse talents and abilities of our students. Let's embark on a journey together to create a more inclusive and effective educational environment. Let's look closer at standards-based grading, or SBG, a method that refines how we assess student learning. Unlike traditional grading systems that often focus on points accumulation across various tasks, standards-based grading zeroes in on a student's mastery of specific learning objectives. What does this mean in practice? Well, it means that a grade isn't just a record of completed homework or tests. It's a reflection of a student's deep understanding of the material. Standards-based grading offers clear, defined criteria for each standard. This clarity is pivotal as it helps both teachers and students pinpoint exactly what needs to be achieved and how to get there. More than just assigning a letter grade, this approach emphasizes providing detailed feedback, crucial for guiding students through their educational journey and addressing specific areas they need to work on. Moreover, SBG fosters an equitable assessment environment. By focusing squarely on mastery, it caters to diverse learning styles and works to reduce biases that can influence grading, instilling confidence in a fairer evaluation process for school administrators. And finally, standards-based grading naturally encourages students to focus on truly learning and understanding the material, not just studying to pass a test. It promotes a genuine engagement with the subject matter, which is essential for long-term educational success, instilling hope and optimism in educators about the transformative potential of this approach. So, as we explore this approach today, consider how these principles might transform the learning experience for students in your classrooms. As we embark on the crucial task of evaluating our current grading policies, it is paramount to consider a key question. Do these policies genuinely capture and reflect our students' learning? Let's delve into this evaluation process by examining a few aspects critically. Ask yourselves, do our grading practices accurately measure how well students understand the standards? Our grades must mirror actual comprehension rather than just task completion. Reflect on whether our assessments align with the learning objectives we set out. This alignment ensures what we teach connects directly to how we evaluate. Let's consider the feedback we provide. Is it timely? Does it offer constructive insights that not only critique, but also guide our students on how to improve and progress in their learning journey? Lastly, Evaluate whether our grading policies are structured to support and foster student growth. Are we encouraging improvement through our grading practices? Now, turning to our unique educational context, because every classroom, every subject, and every student group is different. Factors such as the subjects we teach, the grades we handle, and the demographics of our student population all play significant roles in shaping the effectiveness of our grading strategies. It's time to assess how well our current practices meet our students and our institution's specific needs and goals. Let's take this opportunity to think deeply about these questions and engage in a meaningful dialogue about aligning our grading practices more closely with the true spirit of education, which is all about understanding growth and development. Ensuring consistency in grading across various subjects is crucial to maintaining fairness and objectivity in our educational assessments. Let's explore a few key strategies to enhance this consistency. We need to develop and implement standardized grading rubrics that are closely aligned with the learning standards of each subject. All teachers must use these rubrics uniformly to assess similar standards. This approach ensures our grading is based on predefined criteria, not subjective judgment, enhancing our assessment's fairness and accuracy. Next, we should conduct regular meetings to maintain a uniform understanding and application of these grading criteria. These sessions provide a platform for teachers to discuss and align their grading practices. Such calibration ensures consistency within subjects and across different subjects and teachers, guaranteeing that all students are assessed on a level playing field. Lastly, we encourage collaboration between teachers of different subjects. Sharing best practices and insights on effective grading can foster a more integrated approach. This collaboration can lead to a consistent method of assigning grades, which reflects a comprehensive and unified view of student achievement. Focusing on these strategies can uphold the integrity of our grading system, making sure it's fair and objective. Let's commit to these practices and work together to assess students' hard work and learning accurately and justly. Clarity in our grading criteria is more than just practice. It's essential for transparency and fosters a deeper understanding among students and parents. Let's discuss how we can enhance this clarity to improve our educational experience significantly. We should start by providing detailed rubrics. These rubrics should clearly outline what is expected at each level of performance, by also including examples of work that meets or exceeds these standards. We can help illustrate these expectations more concretely. This visual and descriptive approach helps students and parents visualize what success looks like in tangible terms. When communicating grading policies, it's crucial to use language everyone can understand. Avoid educational jargon that can obscure meaning and create barriers. We aim to be as inclusive as possible, offering explanations in multiple formats, written, verbal, or visual, to ensure everyone can grasp the concepts regardless of their prior familiarity with educational terminology. Regular interactions where feedback is shared are vital. We can implement this through various channels, such as parent teacher conferences, written progress reports, or dynamic online portals, allowing ongoing communication. These opportunities clarify expectations and build a bridge of understanding between educators and families. Lastly, involve students and parents in creating or revising our grading criteria. Through surveys or focus group discussions, we can gather their input, which increases their understanding and acceptance of the grading process. Their involvement ensures our grading criteria are clear and democratically shaped by those it impacts the most. Focusing on these areas ensures our grading criteria are communicated clearly and effectively, leading to a more informed and engaged school community. Let's focus on three essential elements to enhance our grading system. Clear articulation of learning is the first. Define SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound objectives for each course and assignment, ensuring clarity and alignment in learning and assessment. Next, use of diverse assessment methods. Utilize a mix of quizzes, projects, presentations, and discussions to assess varied aspects of student learning. Implement both formative assessments for ongoing feedback and summative assessments to evaluate overall understanding. Provide regular feedback that guides learning. Provide timely and constructive feedback, helping students understand their progress and areas for improvement. Use feedback actively to guide students' learning processes. Now, reflect on how these components can be incorporated into your current system to align more closely with standards-based grading. Consider practical steps for implementation, such as updating assessment rubrics or enhancing feedback mechanisms. These focused steps will help you transition to a grading system that is transparent, equitable, and truly reflective of student learning. Let's pause for a moment to take a look at a case study, Transition to Standards-Based Grading at Lincoln High School. Lincoln High School, located in a dynamic urban area with a richly diverse student population, faced significant challenges in student motivation and academic disparities. Recognizing that traditional grading methods might be hindering rather than helping, the school's leadership team decided it was time for a change. They embarked on an ambitious journey to shift toward standards-based grading, a system that not only enhances educational outcomes, but also ensures fairness in assessments, offering a brighter future for all students. Their implementation strategy? First, the journey began with comprehensive training for all teaching staff. This included a series of workshops designed to break down the principles of standards-based grading, highlight its benefits, and walk through the practical aspects of its adoption. These interactive sessions were pivotal, equipping teachers with the tools to craft clear, measurable learning objectives and align their assessments accordingly. To ensure everyone was on board and clear about the changes, the school held orientation sessions for parents and students. These meetings outlined how the new grading system would impact learning and assessment processes. A strong emphasis was placed on standards-based grading's transparency and fairness, addressing any concerns and setting the stage for community support. Lincoln High chose a strategic phased approach to implementing standards-based grading, starting with core subjects like math and English. This careful step-by-step rollout allowed the school to gather feedback and make necessary adjustments, ensuring the system was effective and well suited to its needs before expanding it further. An ongoing dialogue about progress is key in standards-based grading. Regular feedback sessions were established, giving students clear insights into their academic strengths and areas for improvement. Similarly, teachers received constructive feedback from their peers and administrators, fostering an environment of continuous professional growth and adaptation, ensuring the system's effectiveness and relevance. Through these focused efforts, Lincoln High School aimed to transform its grading practices and foster a more equitable and motivating educational environment. This case study is a testament to the power of collaborative, thoughtful change in our schools. As we reflect on Lincoln High School's journey to transition to standards-based grading, it's important to recognize both the outcomes and the challenges they encountered. Let's explore these aspects further. First, the outcomes. One of the most empowering outcomes of the transition was the increase in student engagement. With standards-based grading, students were no longer in the dark about their grades. They could clearly understand what was expected of them and could directly see how their efforts translated into grades. This newfound transparency helped them take greater ownership of their learning, motivated by a clear focus on mastering content. The shift also led to a significant improvement in the quality of assessments. Teachers aligned these assessments closely with learning standards, making them more relevant to students' academic and personal growth. As a result, the quality of student submissions improved significantly. Students were no longer just completing assignments for points, but were engaging deeply with the material to meet specific mastery criteria. There were challenges, though. The transition was not without these challenges. Both students and teachers went through a learning curve adapting to a system without traditional points and percentages. This change required a shift in mindset from both parties, which took time and patience. Another challenge was ensuring consistent application of the grading criteria across all classrooms. Differences in understanding and application among the faculty meant that regular calibration meetings were crucial. These sessions helped standardize practices and ensure fairness and equity in grading across the board. Through this journey, Lincoln High School experienced a dynamic shift in educational practices, leading to a more engaged and motivated student body and a faculty better equipped to effectively assess and support student learning. As we consider Lincoln High School's transformative journey with standards-based grading, it's an excellent opportunity to consider how these strategies might be implemented in your own educational environments. Now, I urge you to pause the video and engage in a moment of deep reflection on the following questions. How could the approaches used at Lincoln High be adapted to fit the unique needs and context of your school or district? What initial steps could you take to transition toward a standards-based grading system? What potential challenges might you encounter during this transition, and what strategies could you use to overcome them? Take your time to jot down your thoughts in a notebook or a journal, and when you're ready, restart the video to continue. This reflection is crucial as it will help you form a practical action plan that resonates with your educational setting and goals. In our discussion on standards-based grading, a central theme is its commitment to supporting every student effectively. Let's dive into how standards-based grading accomplishes this. Standards-based grading centers around assessing students based on their actual understanding of specific standards. This method promotes a fair and objective evaluation, moving away from traditional points-based systems that often don't reflect true learning. With clear, well-defined criteria aligning with our educational goals, standards-based grading ensures consistency in evaluating all students. This is crucial in accommodating diverse learning styles and backgrounds and ensuring students' performance is judged equitably. Another pillar of standards-based grading is emphasizing regular and specific feedback. This ongoing communication helps students identify their strengths and areas for improvement, fostering a culture of continuous learning and achievement. Using transparent and clearly defined criteria for each standard, standards-based grading reduces the room for subjective judgments that can vary widely between different educators or groups of students. Ensuring all assessments are directly aligned with the standards and applying the same rubrics across the board are fundamental aspects of standards-based grading. This consistency is critical in minimizing personal biases that might otherwise influence grading decisions. As we explore these aspects, consider how implementing such practices in your setting could enhance your assessment's fairness, objectivity, and student support. Now, as we consider adopting standards-based grading in our schools, it's important to have a clear roadmap for implementation. Let's walk through the practical steps that could guide us in this transition. Our first step is to revise our existing assessments so they truly measure performance against specific standards. Each assessment should reflect mastery of these standards. Begin by auditing current assessments with your team. This process will help identify how well our existing tools align with standards-based grading principles and where adjustments are necessary. Comprehensive training is essential. Our staff needs to understand standards-based grading fundamentals, including how to develop effective rubrics, provide meaningful feedback, and maintain consistency in grading. Schedule professional development sessions. Ensure these include introductory and follow-up sessions to support staff as they implement what they've learned. Clear communication ensures everyone understands why we are moving to standards-based grading and how it will benefit students' learning. Utilize multiple channels like newsletters, PTA meetings, and school newsletters to share updates and detailed explanations as you transition. Assessing our school's readiness involves understanding our current resources and training needs. Implementing standards-based grading in a pilot program will allow us to take a phased approach and refine our methods based on real-world feedback before a full-scale rollout. By following these steps, we can ensure a smooth and successful transition to standards-based grading, which promises a more equitable and clear assessment system for all students. As I bring this session on standards-based grading to a close, let's consider its transformative impact on various aspects of education. First, standards-based grading promotes a comprehensive understanding and long-term retention of course material by focusing on mastery rather than mere completion. It allows students to learn at their own pace and recognizes and values diverse learning styles and pathways. Using clear, predefined criteria, standards-based grading minimizes biases and ensures all students are graded equitably, regardless of their background or personal characteristics. Standards-based grading makes the criteria for success explicit, helping all students understand what is expected of them academically. When grades reflect true understanding, students are more motivated to engage deeply with the learning material. Regular and specific feedback helps students identify their strengths and areas for growth, fostering a mindset of continuous improvement. Standards-based grading accommodates diverse learning needs through targeted support and appropriate challenges. And finally, standards-based grading creates a more supportive and less stressful learning environment by focusing on individual growth rather than peer comparison. Now, let's translate our understanding into action. Reflect on one step you can take this week to move closer to implementing standards-based grading. This might involve aligning your assessments more closely with learning standards, clarifying learning targets for your students, or using formative assessment to better track and support student progress. By making these changes, we can create a more equitable, motivating, and supportive educational environment. Let's take this step together, ensuring every student has the opportunity to achieve their best. Thank you for joining me today. If you found value in this presentation, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Stay updated with upcoming sessions on my channel, and let's enrich our journeys together. Please take some time to explore some of my blogs for additional resources and insights. The URLs are shown here.